Hi and welcome to another installment of Shooting Star. This week I want to keep this episode or installment rather short, so we're going to focus on just two things. First and foremost, I had a great conversation with a few photographers earlier this week, and they asked me a very sincere question, and I want to clarify it. Their identity will remain anonymous because I respect their privacy, and quite honestly, it doesn't matter who asked this question because I have dealt with this before in the past. I have a great admiration because they weren't taking an adversarial approach to the question. They wanted just honest feedback, and their question was whether or not I have dealt with copycats or how they should deal with being copied. Now, the fact of the matter remains is whether or not I have or have not is completely irrelevant. My response will always and only ever be the same. If you are being copied, or if you felt, and for clarification, these photographers felt genuinely they were being copied. If they went to one location, the people who were copying them, or the one or two photographers who were copying them, went to that exact location. If they brought props along for that shoot, the other photographers would bring the exact same props. There's things very similar. If a photographer blogged about, hypothetically, icebergs one week, the photographer who was copying them was blogging about icebergs the following week. To be fair, they genuinely felt like they were being copied. If you feel you are being copied, my response to that is great. It means a few things. One, it means that you're doing something right. Two, it means that people are looking at you. And three, you are inspiring. So kind of revel in that for a second and then kind of change the way you could look at it. Because if you are being copied, there's really only two ways you can approach a situation. One, you could become upset, you can get frustrated, and this may result in limiting your online presence. If this then becomes the case, I think that you're doing yourself a disservice because you're going to say, I don't want to post so much out online because I feel like it's going to be copied. Don't worry about that. Which leads me to point two. If you are being copied, the second option would be simply to get better. This is a great thing. My response is if you're being copied, this is a challenge for you in every front. It means that if you go back to the exact same location, you can't shoot it the same way. You have to rethink your poses. You have to challenge your clients to do more things. You have to rethink your props. You have to shoot in new ways. You have to find new locations. You have to shoot in better light. You have to really hone in on what you're doing and your ideas. If you're being copied, I heavily suggest to look at it only from the latter. Use it as a positive thing and a way to challenge yourself to get better and to view the situation in new light. Keeping with this positive mindset, let's address something from a business approach and keeping things positive. Also, earlier this week, I had a great conversation with a friend on how I approach my business decisions. There's two ways of looking at things in my business, or how I prefer to keep things just black and white for the sake of this conversation. There are ways that cost me money in my business, and there are ways that I make money in my business. So I have cost and profits. Instead of viewing additional payments on a monthly or a yearly basis, I don't look at them strictly as costs, as this is going to cost me more money in my business. I look at it as in a way is maybe this will cost me more monthly on a monthly basis or on a yearly basis, but will it also yield in more profits on a yearly or a monthly basis? So let's take an example for how I view this and how I use this strategically in my business. Yes, Show It, which is something that I use, is $39 a month. Now, people can look at it as $39 for just a website, and they can view it as just a cost for that. I, however, like to view Show It as a profit center for my business because while it may cost $39 a month, it also helps me connect with my clients on a much personal level. And that personal connection can yield in word of mouth referrals. And how I go about this in a very strategic way are one, through slideshows, and two, through plus sites. Both of these things offered through Show It. It allows me to connect with them on a personal level, and furthermore, I embed them in Facebook, which allows me to connect on a social level. So people who are friends of the bride, maybe from the 4th grade, who didn't get invited to the wedding, can still experience the wedding, be exposed to my type of work. So yes, it is a monthly fee, but I do believe that the things that I'm able to do with it far supersede the cost and yield a far greater profit. So you can apply this type of philosophy or this type of vision to different aspects of your business. Anytime you choose to accept another monthly payment or a yearly payment, look at it as yes, a cost, but will it yield with more potential for profit. That's all I gotta say this week. If I missed some points, or if you have more questions, please feel free to leave them out on Facebook on the area that I designated just for future FAQ Shooting Star posts. I hope you had a fabulous weekend, and if you have feedback, feel free to leave it in the comment box, and if I totally missed the mark, I will try again in 1 or 2 weeks. Thanks, and stay fabulous.